लाडली लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। न गुरो रधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे वरमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुः करे कङ्कणम् सर्वाङ्गे हरिचन्दनं सुललितं कण्ठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूड़ामणि। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं ह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Dear devotees of God and Gurudev, let's chant for a few minutes before I begin my discourse. Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram, 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 जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम,
सीताराम, सीताराम, सीताराम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम,
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। लाडली लाल की जय। Devotional listeners, now I humbly request your full attention. If you have your cell phone with you, would you kindly turn it off at this point? Thank you. Today I'd like to talk about the precautions we need to take as we walk on the path of bhakti. We need to be careful in many respects. One of those respects, one of those points is, one of the precautions is that we should avoid complacency. This means that we should not think, I've heard enough lectures, I have done enough seva, I have understood everything, no need anymore for me to listen to anything more. I don't need to listen to any more lectures, I don't need to do any more seva, I have done enough. कभी मन में ये विचार भी आता है कि मैंने तो बहुत प्रवचन सुन लिए, अब मुझे सब कुछ मालूम है। लेकिन अगर हमें सब कुछ मालूम है तो भगवत प्राप्ति क्यों नहीं हुई? अगर हमने जान लिया सब कुछ, इसका मतलब हमने मान लिया तो हमने प्यार कर लिया भगवान से, हमें भगवत प्राप्ति हो जानी चाहिए थी। हमें कुछ बातों में ध्यान देना है, हम भगवत प्राप्ति के मार्ग पे चल रहे हैं, किस तरह से हमें सावधान रहना है, ये आज का विषय है। So we need to avoid complacency. When it comes to worldly property, worldly wealth, you should think, I'm satisfied with what I have. I'm satisfied. संतोषः त्रिषु कर्तव्यः स्वदारे भोजने धने त्रिषु नैव च कर्तव्यः स्वाध्याये जपदानयोः. I have enough money, now I should spend more time in devotion. I should spend more and more time doing seva. God has given me enough. I have enough clothes, I have enough money, my house is good enough, big enough, I have enough things. Satisfaction in the world is wonderful. But when it comes to spirituality, we must never think, what I've done is enough and now no more. I have shed enough tears. I have cried so much for Bhagwan, for Sri Krishna. How much is too many tears? Have we shed enough tears? Sri Maharaji used to say, until the moment Sri Krishna comes to wipe your tears away himself, understand that you have not shed enough tears. You need to shed more tears. We have not cried enough for him, we have not served God and Guru enough, we have not heard enough, we have not done enough. So there should never be satisfaction. हो गया, बस कर लिया, अब और नहीं. ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए. Think back at the time when you heard the teachings for the very first time. Think about that giddiness, if I may say even giddiness, how happy you felt hearing the philosophy of Sri Maharaji, philosophy of scriptures. That excitement, that giddiness has to continue even after 10 years, after 20 years, after 50 years. You have to hear it with the same enthusiasm, with the same happiness. Sometimes we're listening to a lecture and it's like this. I can gauge the interest of a person, anybody can. Unless you're blind, you can see how a person is listening. And a lot of times I get the feeling, I know this person is thinking, I've heard enough, this is the same old thing again. It's written on the face. It's in looking away, looking down, looking around like this. Why do we do that? It's because we think, I don't need to hear anymore. Ho gaya, sun liya, kya sunna hai? Or we fall asleep. This is a good time to sleep. So complacency sets in, which is to be avoided. I have not done enough seva. I haven't done any seva. Always that thought must be there. I have not done any seva. I have not shed any tears. I have not done enough sadhana. There are two kinds of people who wish to live longer. One is the worldly fellow who thinks, I have so much of the world to explore. I want to go to all the countries of the world. I want to eat all the delicacies that the world has to offer me. I want to see everything, all the monuments, all the beautiful sceneries of the world. I want to see and hear and taste and touch and smell the world to the maximum. The other fellow also wants to live longer. He wants to live longer because he thinks, I have not done enough sadhana. I have not served enough. I need to do more, so I want to live. I want to live a longer life. So complacency is something that does come in. We are controlled by Maya, so complacency comes in, but we have to be very careful. Another point to keep in mind is that pride is very, very, very sneaky. It comes in and we don't even realize it. We become proud. We become proud of even the sadhana we are doing. And the very first concept in devotion is humility, deenta. Ishwarasya pyabhiman dveshitvat dainya priyatvat Narad Bhakti Darshan. Narad ji says in this sutra, it's one of the 84 sutras of Narad Bhakti Darshan, Narad ji says God loves humility. He loves the quality of being humble, and he detests pride. Pride is something that he does not tolerate. Whenever he sees pride, he leaves from that place. So it's very easy for us to become proud. Actually, there is nothing that we have to be proud of, but we become proud. Sri Maharaji used to tell a story of a man who was very unfortunate. His parents died in his infancy. He grew up on the streets. He had no money. He didn't have any good looks. He had no friends, no education, nothing. So he complained to God. He said, Bhagwan, you did not give me anything. I have nothing. I don't have good looks. I don't have an education. I have no friends, no family members. Everybody has something that they can live on, but I have nothing. So God said to his accountant, his treasurer rather, he said, give this fellow something. What should I give him? Give him a royal attitude. Royal attitude? Now this man who has no money, now he has a royal attitude. I will build the greatest palace that the world has ever seen. And he has not even a penny to his name. I shall marry the princess. Even a beggar does not look at him. He wants to marry a princess. In other words, now he has nothing. No money, no good looks, no education, nothing. But he has really, really a royal attitude. He thinks that he has so much. And this man is all of us. We have nothing to be proud of, and yet we strut with pride. If not physically, then internally. We become proud. So pride is something that we need to look out for. Am I proud? It's a sneaky thief that takes away all the devotion that we have accumulated. And we all know that's a little bit of devotion we have accumulated, and pride takes it all away. हमें अहंकार से बच के रहना है. अहंकार एक ऐसा चोर है जो हमारी सारी साधना को लूट के ले जाता है. हमें पता ही नहीं चलता, क्योंकि ये बड़ा सूक्ष्म चोर है. हमें मालूम ही नहीं पड़ा और अहंकार सब कुछ लेके चला गया. दीनता भगवान को प्रिय है, अहंकार से उन्हें सख्त नफरत है, घृणा है. तो भगवान की कृपा को प्राप्त करने के लिए हमें अहंकार से बचना होगा. अहंकार का कोई विषय आया तो हमें यही सोचना है, जो कि वास्तविकता है कि ये जो है मेरे पास, ये भगवान की कृपा है, भगवान की देन है, ये मेरे गुरुदेव की देन है. So being humble and modest doesn't mean that you should deny the talents you have, that you should say that you have nothing good in you. If someone compliments you and says, you sing really well, you dance really well, and don't say, no, I don't. Thank you. But you give the credit where it belongs. You give the credit to God and Guru. That will prevent pride from entering the heart. And many people say, you're such a great devotee. Such a great devotee. Give that compliment, place it at the lotus feet of God and Gurudev. When I first started giving lectures back in 1987 in Toronto, there was a library hall in North York. Those were my first lectures. And when I finished the very first lecture I gave, there was someone who fell at my feet and did a sashtang pranam. And then I thought, oh my goodness, what is this? Someone is doing pranam. And then I mentally said to Shri Maharaji, he's not doing pranam to me, he is doing pranam to you. So I'm not taking this pranam personally. And I have never taken any pranam personally. First of all, I don't like it, but if someone does pranam, I don't take it personally. Because you have to give the credit where it belongs. And this same person said something very, very nice that I remember. He said, when you started speaking, I could smell the fragrance of a very, very nice agarbatti, incense. And when you stopped talking, that's when the fragrance went away. So right after the first lecture I had given, it was a wonderful thing to hear that it was Sri Maharaji speaking all the way through. Because when I started, the fragrance came. He said it was undeniable. Is there incense burning here? I said, no, it's a library hall. We're not supposed to. We're not allowed to burn incense. So God and Guru take over, and that's where the credit belongs. So when you are complimented, give the credit where it belongs. In this way, we can stay away from pride. And pride comes for the strangest reason. There was a man who had committed some petty theft, and he was sent to jail for 2 years. And when he went in, he was going to share a jail cell with 2 others. And both of them asked, how long are you here for? And he said, oh, I'm here for 2 years. And one of them boasted, I'm here for 10. Another one said, I'm here for 25 years. So you take the bed that's closest to the cell, to the exit, because you're only here for 2 years. Now they're boasting that they're here for much longer than he is. So we can be proud, we can become proud of something that we have no need to be proud of. But that's how pride is. Another thing that we need to watch out for is how much are we talking? How much talking am I doing? Because for a serious sadhak, silence is recommended. Be quiet, don't talk much. Shri Maharaji says, Kam bolo, speak little. And even when you do speak, meetha bolo, speak sweetly. Speak sparingly. Don't talk too much. And when you do talk, make sure that your words bring happiness to all. They're sweet words. Tulsi meethe vachan te, sukh upjat chahor. Vashikaran yah mantra hai, taji de vachan kathor. Tulsidas ji says the same. Tajide vachana kathor, do not speak harsh words. Measure your words. Think about what you're going to say. Words carry a lot of weight. They are very powerful. With our words, we can inspire someone greatly. And with our words, we can make someone feel very despondent. A divine personality inspires millions with his words. And millions of people are inspired to walk on the path of devotion, listening to his words. But a very worldly person, a violent person, can incite so much violence. He can inspire so many violent thoughts in so many people. Words are very important. Words should be measured before being spoken. Sri Maharaj Ji gives us the example of a time when he was visiting a lawyer. Sri Maharaj Ji was being hosted by a lawyer and his family in a district of India called Banda. And the lawyer told Maharaj Ji a fascinating story. He said, Maharaj Ji, there were two cousin brothers in this village, and they were fighting over a piece of land, each one saying the land is his. So naturally, when there is a discord like that, the matter goes to the courts. So then the judgment was given in favor of one of the cousin brothers. So one of them won the case, and naturally the other one lost. The one who had won the case, and now he was the rightful owner of that piece of land, he was walking through the village, and he passed in front of his cousin's house. His cousin brother and the cousin's mother, they were both sitting outside on a cot and outside their house, and they were both looking very dejected. They were naturally very sad because they had lost the case. Now the cousin who had won the case, he's walking, he saw them, and he twisted his mustache. He had a very big Thakur mustache, meaning a handlebar mustache. So he just twisted it like this. And looking at this, the elderly mother said to her young son, Beta, are you going to tolerate this? If you are my son, you will teach this man a lesson he will never forget. And the son immediately rushed into the house and got a very thick stick and ran after his cousin, hit him on the head. The cousin had no idea what was coming, what was happening. The man fell down and actually died with the impact. Now, the murder case goes to the court, and this man is asked, why did you kill your cousin? Why? Because he twisted his mustache. But that's not the reason, is it? It's because his mother spoke those words. His mother said, are you my son or not? And if you are my son, you will teach this man a lesson he'll never forget. Isko maza chakha de aaj, agar tu vastav mein mera beta hai to. So the man got so excited, he went inside the house, brought a stick, and ended up killing his cousin. Words can be so dangerous. And if we are just speaking indiscriminately, just for the sake of talking, then how can we be doing devotion sincerely? Because someone who practices devotion sincerely becomes very fond of not talking. He becomes fond of silence. So, kam bolo, meetha bolo. That is the instruction of Jagat Guru Uttam Sri Kripalu Ji Maharaj. And also, something more about the words we speak, we should keep our word. हम लोग अक्सर जो बोलते हैं, वायदे करते हैं, जी हम ऐसा करेंगे, जी हम पहुंचेंगे वहाँ पे, जी समय पे पहुंचेंगे. फिर हम भूल जाते हैं, अरे ठीक है हम कहा था, कह दिया, अच्छा नहीं लगता ना करना. बहुत से लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं, बहुत से भारतीय लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं, हमें ना करना अच्छा नहीं लगा, हमने हाँ बोल दी, लेकिन करना थोड़ी है वो. यहाँ तक कि हम वो भोग बना के लाएंगे, अरे वो आए नहीं, क्या हुआ? अरे हमारी तबीयत खराब हो गई, आपने बताया भी नहीं, अरे भूल गए. यानी हमारे शब्दों में कोई वजन ही नहीं है, हम कुछ ऐसे बोल देते हैं. जो बोले, जो वायदा करें उस वायदे को पूरा करना चाहिए. We should always keep our promises. If we cannot keep the small promises that we make in the world, how will we keep the promise that we made to God? गर्भ में किए थे वादे गोविंद राधे, भक्ति ही करूँगा किंतु भूल गए वादे. राधा गोविंद गीत by Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj. We made a pact, we made a promise, I should say, to God when we were still in the mother's womb, and that is, my Lord, please deliver me from this hell that I'm in. I'm in a very constricted, dark space, and I'm hanging upside down. Please allow me to take birth. And once I do take birth, I promise to love you all life long. You'll be my one and only. How can we keep this big promise to God if we are not accustomed to keeping even the small promises we make? So we should be good for our word. Whatever we say, whatever promises we make, we should keep. Because words are very powerful, and we are acquiring bad habits when we just speak indiscriminately and make all sorts of promises. So we must keep the promises we make. We should also stay away from procrastination. करेंगे, उधार करना, जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में, उधार करना बंद करना है. पैसों का उधार नहीं, समय का. कल कर लेंगे, परसों कर लेंगे, फिर कभी कर लेंगे, फिर कभी. अब करी हाँ इमी कही रही चाहिए हाँ, पछितात अरे मन अवसर बीत्यो जात. श्री महाराज जी ने कहा प्रेम रस मदिरा में, अभी कर लेंगे भक्ति, अभी दान करने ही वाले हैं, अरे करना ही है, अभी कर लेंगे. ये कहते कहते फिर मृत्यु का समय आ गया, अभी किया ही नहीं, फिर पछताना ही हाथ में आएगा. श्री महाराज जी ने एक बार कहानी बताई थी, सच्ची कहानी. एक सत्संगी जो साउथ इंडिया में रहता था, मैं बहुत बार शेयर कर चुकी हूँ ये कहानी, क्योंकि बहुत प्रेरणा मिलती है इससे. एक सत्संगी था, बंगलौर में रहता था. श्री महाराज जी वृंदावन में थे, और एक दिन महाराज जी बहुत उदास लग रहे थे, बाहर नहीं आए, कमरे में ही थे. तो सत्संगी लोग बहुत कंसर्न्ड हो गए, महाराज जी क्या हो गया, क्या हो गया. श्री महाराज जी ने कहा, अरे वो अमुक सत्संगी जो है वो मृत्युशैया पे लेटा है, और उसको एक ही विचार सता रहा है, वो ये कि मैंने अपना जो मैंने सोचा था दान भेजना है, मैंने भेजा नहीं, अपनी डोनेशन नहीं भेजी. श्यामा श्याम धाम में उस समय वृंदावन आश्रम का निर्माण हो रहा था. तो महाराज जी ने कहा कि वो तड़प तड़प के मर रहा है, उसको पहले करना चाहिए था, उसने सोचा कल कर लेंगे, उसके लिए कल आया ही नहीं. तो महाराज जी के ऐसा कहने से बहुत प्रेरणा मिली कि जो करना है अभी कर लो, अभी कर दो. एक बार श्री महाराज जी ने कहा कि ये भवन जो बन रहा है इसमें सबको शरीक होना है, सबको सम्मिलित होना है, और अगर कोई कहे कि हमारे पास तो धन है ही नहीं, तो मैं चैलेंज के साथ कहता हूँ कि आप भी सेवा कर सकते हैं. कैसे? श्री महाराज जी ने कहा, आपके परिवार में आपके प्रियजन को कोई सीरियस बीमारी हो गई और भारत के डॉक्टर्स कह रहे हैं कि उसको अमेरिका ले जाना है, कनाडा ले जाना है, और आपके पास पैसे नहीं, तो क्या करेंगे? बस ऐसे बैठ जाएंगे? जी नहीं, पैसे का प्रबंध करेंगे, बैंक से लोन लेंगे या किसी से पर्सनल लोन लेंगे, लेकिन उसको लेके जाएंगे वहाँ पर, शरीर के लिए, अपने प्रियजन के शरीर के लिए करेंगे. तो शरीर के लिए कर्जा ले सकते हैं, तो आत्मा के लिए क्यों नहीं? ये बात तो हमने कभी सोची नहीं थी, किसी ने नहीं सोची थी. इससे बहुत प्रेरणा मिली. नहीं, सोचने का ढंग बदल दिया श्री महाराज जी ने. ये देखो, ऐसे ऐसे सोचते हो, ऐसे नहीं सोचना, इस तरह से सोचो. सो प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन इज समथिंग वी शुड अवॉइड. वी मस्ट बी वेरी केयरफुल इन अवॉइडिंग प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन. Procrastination is such that we have good intentions, but our mind, which is very spoiled, it keeps telling us, do it tomorrow, do devotion tomorrow, Give charity tomorrow. Tomorrow, 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 and tomorrow may not even belong to us. The person who says, I'm just going to do it now, just in a few minutes, few hours, few minutes, he's not going to do it. The serious one does it right away, immediately, without waiting. Some people wait until they die to do the seva. I will do seva after I die, with the money that I leave behind. What is the point of that? While we are living, the seva that we can do, that is our true earning for the future lifetime. But we are procrastinating. So procrastination in giving charity, procrastination in doing devotion, procrastination in doing sadhana, all this is going to drown us. Alasyam hi manushyanam sharirastho mahan ripuh. Laziness is very detrimental to our physical body. And laziness and procrastination in matters of spirituality is very, very damaging to the soul, to us. So whatever is most important, we should do it now. Maharajji's inspiring words are really amazing. Sri Maharajji used to say, you are here in this world to practice, to attain God realization. So tell you what, you attain God first and do everything else later. And we would smile, we would chuckle when we heard that. Maharajji कहते थे, भगवत प्राप्ति पहले कर लो, फिर और काम करते रहना. And we used to think that's so, everybody listening, we would smile that, wow, do everything else later? And that's exactly how it should be done. Of course, that doesn't mean that you don't do anything besides attaining God realization. Main thing is, Maharajji is saying, make God realization your primary aim in life. Don't procrastinate there. Do not put that off till the next day. Because everything in life is so uncertain. Today you have your health. Today we think, I'm in good health, reasonably good health. Tomorrow it may change, all of a sudden, like this. There was a devotee, this happened recently, she went to the doctor, she said, I'm feeling a little out of balance, I have vertigo. Turns out she had serious brain cancer. And she said, they didn't even let me go, I've been admitted in the hospital. They admitted me right away. And there was no previous warning, nothing, all of a sudden, brain cancer. You hear these stories every day. We hear them and we think, it's not going to happen to me. What gives us this certainty that it's not going to happen to us? Why can't it happen to me? Why does it happen to everybody else but not to me? That's not the right way of thinking. So today we have our health, tomorrow we may not. Today I have life, tomorrow I may not. So whatever needs to be done has to be done today. It has to be done right now. Or as much as I can do, I'll do today. You've heard the saying that the past is history and the future is a mystery. But the present is a real gift. All we have is the present. So when you start thinking, I'll do it later, think about the importance of that. Okay, I'll do the dishes in the sink later. Oh, that's okay, do it later. I'll do my laundry later. That's a different thing. I'll eat a little bit later. Unless you're in a retreat, everybody has to eat the right time. But okay, put off your lunch or dinner until later. But I'll do devotion later, that's a totally different story. No. Do not allow your mind to tell you that you'll do it later. No, right now. The mind says, no, come on, you don't need to do it. No. Do it tomorrow. You're too tired. Too tired. The mind says this. You're too tired. I observe little kids and they'll say, I can't come to satsang because I'm too tired to come. And then the same child, I have to get up so early in the morning, but the same child will get up 2 hours earlier than that to go on a fun trip. Right? We all do that. When it's something so fun and enjoyable, we don't have any trouble getting up in the morning, right? But we do when it comes to devotion. That's when all the bahane start. All the mind puts up all the excuses, even little children. And I think, who taught you all these excuses? Probably you heard it from your parents. That's where. Adults make these excuses, so children also. A little child told me, 5, 6 years old, he said, I'm very busy. I said, you don't come to satsang? He said, I'm very busy. Busy with what? Busy with studies. What studies? You're in grade 1. But the child has heard from the adults, I'm very busy. So the child is also saying it. So procrastination is okay in some areas. Okay, like I said, in some worldly areas. Not in all worldly areas, but yes, you can do something later. There are some things you can do later. But in matters of spirituality, procrastination is very damaging. Another thing we should avoid is to put the blame on God for our misfortunes. Even someone who is walking on the godly path becomes very nervous. A sadhak may become very nervous when things happen in life, when adverse situations happen, adverse conditions in life prevail. Then he thinks, why did God do this to me? I'm doing devotion. I'm doing everything right. Why did this have to happen to me? Acceptance of God's will. A sadhak, an aspiring devotee, should accept at all times the will of God. Whatever God gives me, whether He gives me life or death, it is a perfect thing for me. He gives me perfect health or very bad health. It's a perfect thing for me. He gives me respect from friends and family, or everybody starts disrespecting me. It's all good. This or that, it's all good. Whether I have wealth or I'm living in poverty, it's all good. It's the will of God. I, as a human, I will do whatever I need to do, and after that I will accept the will of God. Once I heard someone saying, but how could this person get cancer? He is a meditator. What does that mean? He's a meditator, so he cannot have any ill health. That means the premise was that if you practice meditation, you cannot get sick. God will say, not you, you meditate, so you cannot get sick. That doesn't make sense. Ramakrishna Paramhans, saint, he had throat cancer. Throat cancer. And he was not at all disturbed. His disciples and devotees would cry and they would say, please ask the Divine Mother to heal you. And he would look at their tears, he would look at how devastated they were, and he would say, I shall try. But he could never ask the Divine Mother to heal him because he accepted the will of God. And when he would go in front of the mother, he was a devotee of Mother Kali, he would say, oh Mother, give me knowledge, give me devotion. Mujhe gyan do, mujhe bhakti do, mujhe gyan do, mujhe bhakti do. That's all he asked for. And he said, cancer is just an excuse. I will live for as long as I'm supposed to live. This cancer is just an excuse. And it's a gift from God. He accepted it like that. Once a devotee, Maharaji was asking her, how many children do you have? She started talking about her children and she said, one of them is suffering very greatly, and tears were about to come out of her eyes, and Maharaji said, do not cry. Do not let these tears fall. Because God has given you this child, you must serve this child. Do not cry. Do not object to what God has given you. So the acceptance of God's will, that is what we must be. That is what we must accept. We must accept God's will. And never think anything, never have any ill feelings towards what's going on in life. Faith should not be shattered, it should not be disturbed, it should not be shaken in the least. एक बार एक मंदिर के प्रेसिडेंट ने मुझे बताया कि मुझे तो बहुत विश्वास था भगवान में। हमने कहा आप तो मंदिर के प्रेसिडेंट हैं, आपको होना ही चाहिए, मंदिर के प्रेसिडेंट बनने का मतलब आपकी आस्था है भगवान के प्रति। मेरी बहुत आस्था थी। फिर क्या हुआ, मेरी एक ही बेटी थी और अचानक उसकी मृत्यु हो गई। मेरी पत्नी गई हुई थी भारत और मैं घर पे था, मेरी बेटी थी अपने कमरे में थी, मुझे पता ही नहीं चला उसको अटैक हुआ और जिससे वो सफ़र कर रही थी, और मुझे पता ही नहीं चला उसने दम तोड़ दिया। तो मेरी सारी जो श्रद्धा थी भगवान के प्रति सब खत्म हो गई। तो फिर वो श्रद्धा ही क्या थी? मेरा विश्वास टूट गया भगवान में। भगवान ने ऐसा क्यों किया? मैं तो मंदिर में लगा रहा हूँ, वहाँ पे सेवा करता हूँ, मेरे साथ ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? ये क्या बात है जी? तो मेरा विश्वास टूट गया। बहुत सालों बाद फिर आप वापस आया। तो विश्वास ही कहाँ है? वो श्रद्धा ही कौन सी श्रद्धा है जो ऐसे टूट जाए? So we must take precautions. One of the precautions is that we should not get disturbed by the adverse conditions that come to us in life. When things are not going well. And Shri Maharaj Ji says in Radha Govind Geet, प्रेमी जनों को गोविंद राधे, चार वृत्तियां अनिवार्य बता दे। There are 4 virtues that are absolutely important, absolutely essential for a devotee, someone walking on the path of devotion. Deenta, humility. Udarta, generosity. Saralta, simplicity. Sahanshilta, tolerance. These 4. So as we talk about what to avoid, we must look at what we must really work on as well. Deenta, humility. Udarta, generosity of spirit. Saralta, simplicity. Sahanshilta, tolerance. Maharaji was very insistent on sadhaks being simple, living a simple life. Maharaji would often ask a person, how many saris do you have? He would ask the ladies, how many saris do you have? And he would say, you have so many. You don't need that many. And Maharaji tells a story about many years prior, when he was visiting when he was in the house of Mahabaniji, and the older daughter, she had come back from Delhi, and she was always saying to her father, who was living in Pratapgarh, some of you know who I'm talking about, and she was always saying to her father, Papa, I need a new sari, I need a new sari. And the man, he had other children, and he was a very devoted soul, and he was very, very sweet and gentle. He would say, Haan bitiya, le aayenge. Yes, my dear daughter, I will bring it for you. And Maharaji thought, this is ridiculous. She has so many saris. So one day, as this young lady was taking a bath, and Maharaji went into her suitcase and took all the saris out and spread them on her bed and then left. When she came into her room, she noticed all this mess. Who has done this? Then she understood that nobody but Maharaji could have done this. Maharaji showed her father, look, your daughter has so many saris, she's asking you yet for another one and another one and another one. And Maharaji taught her in that way, and taught all of us, that simplicity is very important. Yes, you have the money to buy the saris. Her father did not. But even if you do have the money, you have the money to buy this and that, you have the money to buy a fancy car, you have the money to buy a castle, but is that the best use of your money? Is that the best use of your money? Shri Maharaji was talking about when we were building again Shama Shamdham in Vrindavan. Then Maharaji was talking about a woman who gave 300 rupees. And Maharaji was very happy with that 300 rupee donation. Maharaji ne kaha, ye ghar ghar bartan manj ke ye paisa kama ke lai hai. She has earned this money by going house to house washing dishes. So Maharaji was very happy with that. 300 rupees is nothing when it compares to how much money it takes to build a temple, an ashram. It takes millions of dollars. On the other hand, somebody who had given 100,000 rupees was scolded. Maharaji said, take it back. How much did you spend on construction of your house? How many crore? And what are you giving for the mandir, for the ashram? Nothing. So compared to what she had, she was giving so little, but in the eyes of the world, that's a lot. 100,000 rupees is a lot. But no, Maharaji said, you spent so much more on your own body. You spent so much more on constructing this house, your house. But you don't think the ashram is yours, so you're not thinking this way. So yes, even if you have the money, simplicity. Be simple. Be generous in giving charity. But be very frugal for yourself. The Bhagavad Mahapuran says, Yavat bhriyet jatharam tavat swatvam hi dehinam adhikam yo bhimanyet sasteno dandamarhati. O humans, you are entitled to as much wealth as is required for a basic living. If you have your basic necessities fulfilled, don't keep any more money than that with you. Donate the rest. And don't donate indiscriminately. The greatest charity is the one we give for godly cause through a guru's mission, through your guru's mission. So, charity, in that you must be generous, but for yourself, be frugal. That's what the Bhagavatam is saying. Shri Krishna himself is saying to his children, you are not entitled to any more money than is required for a simple living. The rest, if you have any more, give it away. Give it as charity. Don't keep any more with you, because if you do, then I will consider you to be a thief, sastenaha, and dandamarhati. Every thief will be punished. So, these are some of the points we must keep in mind. And one last thing is we must stay away from kusang. Kusang meaning the wrong association. Someone's association or something's association that will take us away from thoughts of God and Guru. Baru bhalubas narak kartata dusht sang jani dei vidhata. It is better that you put me to suffer the torments of hell than for me to have kusang, association of someone who will take me away from the thoughts of God. So there are many kusang, but the main kusang is that when we hearing something or talking about, hearing something against God and Guru, something against God and godly saints, and saying something against God and godly saints, the main kusang is that. Even if you hear someone saying it and you say, well, I'm just going to listen to him, he's a fool, he doesn't know anything. But why would you hear anything like that? You have committed an offense which is called namaparad, the biggest spiritual offense. So, Narad Muni says, even if you think it's a little bit of harmful association, avoid it at all costs. Dussangah sarvathaiva tyajyah. Narad Bhakti Darshan. Why? Because even if it seems like nothing much, yet, that little bit of kusang will soon become a big ocean. That little droplet of water will soon become an ocean, and you'll drown in it. So you may think, oh, this person is just saying something, I'm just listening, I just heard for a minute and that's it. But that thought will stay in your mind and you'll think about it. Our mind is such that we do chintan of everything that's damaging for us and we hardly do chintan of something that's good for us. That's the nature of our mind. So what he has said against so-and-so will stay in the mind. And when you sit down to do sadhana, it will disturb you. Then you'll think about it. And you'll think about it again and again. The mind will think about it. So kusang has to be avoided at all costs. One thing that doesn't sound like kusang, but is kusang, is that you have found your guru. You are satisfied with what you have found. The philosophy is completely satisfactory to you and you're following it. And then, yet you're going over there, you're going over there, you're going over there, you're going everywhere to listen. But why? That means you have not found a guru. Keep on searching until you find one. No, I found my guru. Then why are you searching here and there? It doesn't make sense. Because the more you listen to, the more confused you'll become. You're not like a saint can listen to this and that. He's a saint. He can listen to anything. And he's not going to get confused. But we are not saints. We will become very confused. We're listening to the philosophy and we say, this is my guru's philosophy. Then I'm also at the same time, I want to listen to this one, that one. That means you're not satisfied. No, I am satisfied. Then use your time to do what is needed to do. Will you keep on listening all life long? It's like someone who's window shopping all life long, never making a purchase. That doesn't make sense, does it? So although this does not seem like kusang, but to read a lot of books, to listen to a lot of lectures, when you have found your guru, is also a kusang. And all this is written in Philosophy of Divine Love, Prem Ras Siddhant, last chapter, if you need the exact reference, it is the last chapter. So we must be very careful to avoid kusang at all costs. All kinds of kusang. Kusang can come from a person who talks to you or behaves in a certain way that you get affected and you turn away from God. Or it can come from an object. So all kusang, wrong association, unholy association, needs to be avoided. These are some of the precautions that we need to take as we walk on the path of devotion. बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे. We are going to, some of you were here yesterday. Can you tell me